Well, welcome back to another video. It's Easter weekend. Me and Tracy have got this weekend and all week off, so we've managed to plan in a load of jobs we want to get done, and we've also managed to plan in a day or two downtime with a twist. So hopefully we'll take you along all for that journey. But first on the list, it's early Saturday morning. The storm's due this afternoon, so I want to get this job out the way first because it involves getting up a ladder, and you know what happened last time I got up a ladder, so we get it done as safe as possible. Right, so for 10 years around here we've struggled with internet, and when we moved in 10 years ago they said we were going to have fibre, broadband, whatever you call it. I'm not technically minded, that's Tracy's department. We were supposed to get that within 15 months. Well, that was 10 years ago. So last year they came and they sprayed all the lane to say they were putting it in. Well, all that spray's been washed off, so it doesn't look like we're getting it anytime soon. So we've went out, we've bit the bullet, and we've bought one of these. Well, we didn't actually buy it, they had an offer on, so it's actually cheaper than the internet we were paying. So hopefully with Tracy's working from home and uploading videos for you guys, it might make a lot of difference. If not, we'll tear it down and go back to the original. So we're going to get that up first thing before I get cracking on with my jobs. Right, just before I get up that ladder, in case I don't make the end of the video, Tracy wanted me to put this in. I don't feel the need to say it, but she thinks she's a bit conscious about, because we're doing this sort of thing on the video, that people are going to say we're promoting it, we got it for free. Well, we didn't get it for free. She did an Instant Pot video before and she got a bit of criticism for it. Well, that wasn't a promotion. We don't do politics, we don't do promotions. We get offered stuff all the time, from shower curtains to false teeth, and we always turn them down. But maybe we'll pick up on the false teeth one in a few years time, we don't know. We take you guys along on the videos for everything we do, just to document it for ourselves and for you. So I just thought I'd put that in there because she was being a bit concerned about what we're doing this morning. Right, so all that being said, the plan is to get it up there. So they're a bit fussy, these things. We had it out a couple of days ago and trying it out because they've got to be pointed a certain way, so we couldn't put it at the back of the house because the house was in the way. We can't get on the roof because I'm not getting up on the roof, and there's no way to connect it up there really. So we decided to put it on this porch here over the door. So we got up a few days ago and just had it on and got it aligned. It seems to be working all right. So I've just been out this morning and just made this frame for it that I'm going to tie wrap on there to sit this onto. It's just made out of a composite like fiberboard, so it won't rot, it'll withstand the weather. So I'm going to get that up there first, tie wrap it on, and then I'll measure this up, drill a few holes for this, and then just tie wrap this onto it, and we should be well away.
Now you may be wondering, how can we put it against the house, because that's going to be a blocker, but actually if you turn around and look at what it's looking at, that's the sky that it's got, and that's what it needs to be able to see the satellite. So we did do the test, as Stephen says, to make sure that it didn't have too many obstructions, and it seemed happy at the time, but it is a little bit needy, this thing, isn't it? So fingers crossed it's still happy today, and it is going to get tested tonight because we've got Dave is on his way. Storm Dave. So
we're going back to the old days of getting satellite on your house,
like the sky dishes.
Yeah. Right, get up. Right, well, it's up. I'm not too sure about the look. It's not really within keeping of the farmhouse, but if it works, is this video up yet? Is it that good? If it
That's such a dad joke.
if it works, we might have to rethink about positioning it somewhere else, a bit more hidden and a bit more within keeping, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm going down the field to get on with the pig pen, and we'll leave it at that. Right, well, I'm down here cracking on with the pig pen.
And here's the train.
Look at Dexter hiding behind that.
It's his best mate. Oh, the supermarket train. A very long supermarket train.
How many Tesco's is that going to?
A very, very long supermarket train.
Right, well, I'm down here cracking on in the pig pen area. I've just got all these panels up on the exterior of the property. We got these a few months ago for like 50 quid for about 30 panels, so that's proper cheap when you think they're about 20 quid a panel usually. But with that comes a compromise. On the other side of them, ideally, which would have been on this side, the bright blue, I don't know if you can see that from there, but hopefully the farmer won't mind them on his side. But we knew that when we did Dexter's roof, but you can't see that because like I say, this colour underneath and the blue's just on the sky, so nobody's bothered with that bit. But if he says anything, I've got enough panels I can double side it, and you won't see it from the other side of them as well. But I'm not creating myself another job if I don't have to. So yeah, I've got them temporarily screwed into where I want them. They all pretty much fit perfect down to that bottom corner there, which is where I need to turn and go to where the house is going to be. So I've just been out and got some 120mm screws, because I'm going to screw them all into the bottom and screw them all into the bottom row of this Harris fencing to stop them, because that's where I want most of the rigidity under there to stop them pulling any up. I mean, they won't, that's not going anywhere anyway, but just for double security. And I've took a few posts out of here just so I can get the panels screwed to the fence. So I've got them to put back in, and I've got a couple of big telegraph poles there, half telegraph poles, which I'm going to put in where the weakest points are. I've got about 3 weak points here, so I'm going to dig them about 3 or 4 foot into the ground, and I'm going to concrete them ones in, and then I'll just get some metal wire and tie the fence to the posts, and then that'll be solid that way, just to keep. I mean, if they get out any other way, which they won't, by the time I'm finished it'll be like Fort Knox, but if they get out any other way, they'll just get out onto our property, so it's not a problem. But that area I need to make as secure as I can. So the storm's been threatening. I've been in and out twice because it's been spitting on with rain, and we're supposed to get the storm at 5 o'clock, I think. It's about 12 o'clock now, so we have a few more hours on it before that comes, and then we'll get in. Right, well, I've got them all on and secured in. I've just been on the phone to the farmer because I felt a bit guilty about just putting them up without telling him. And like I thought, he said he'd prefer it not all blue. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to have to double panel it just to keep everybody happy. I don't like upsetting everybody. So it's double the work, but it keeps people happy. Right, well, as you can see, I've been round and re-panelled all the other side, keep the farmer happy, but I've just created us a problem here where that's what you can see, it looks awful. So I'm going to get some longer screws. I'm going to screw these 2 panels together so it's nice and tight, and then I'll just get some spray paint, I don't know, black or green or something, or even something to match this, and just spray the top of that so we can't see the bright blue. So it's another job. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, which I didn't want to do, but you have to keep your neighbours happy, don't you? Don't you?
We keep them happy. So I just walked past and these two are just stood staring each other down. So I'm guessing that means we've got 2 cockerels, the 2 prettiest ones. Cockerels. This one on the ramp's ready to pounce. Oh, look. And so it begins. Okay. You do know that means you're going to be Sunday dinner.
Scary.
So the good news is it's Easter morning, so happy Easter everyone who celebrates Easter, and we seem to have survived on first viewing of the storm for trees and things. Obviously need to have a good look around, but not everywhere. Sheep are fine. Someone ready and waiting for his feed this morning. Must have been a bad night out for these cows on the hill there. But no trees down. These are the ones that will do the most damage if they come down. But everything looks okay. Where's your happy face? There it is. Right, Dexter's done. So the ducks now, they've been locked away nice and tight. They'll be totally fine. I can already hear them. They're in there. Dexter's there. Give them some food. Yeah, water will need changing. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Happy days.
Right, well, like Tracy said, it's the calm after the storm, and the only piece of damage that seems we've got is this polytunnel. So when we put this up, we did allude to it that it was a cheaper material, less robust, and we got like 10 years out of the other one. We thought we'd get longer than a month out of this one, but it seems to be it fell at the first storm. So hopefully there's no damage. It looks like the zip is either torn or just opened. Hopefully it's just opened and then acted like a sail and blew it off. But we did tie it down in the middle with the tie wraps, and the tie wraps are still here. So obviously they've torn out. So hopefully that's not too bad. Hopefully we can just put some more in different areas, because it was double skinned. But it seems like the plants have all survived. So the first thing to do is get it over and see what the damage is.
I was just saying to Stephen, I thought it was going to take longer than that, but it seems.
Well, on first inspection, it seems fine. It looks like it's just blew the zips open, and then just, like I said, acted like a sail and blew the whole thing off. So
it's a rippy yesterday.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh
I've
dear.
already fixed that, putting it up. So see where it's ripped inside. We'll go from there, I suppose. Oh, yeah, it's just pulled them out of them little stitchings, so it hasn't actually.
That's good news then, because you'd put it in the excess, hadn't you?
Yeah.
Good decision, Stephen.
So I think what we'll have to do is put more in all the way down and try and pull it in just to stop it lifting, and we'll put some concrete slabs down on that end, because it doesn't look like that soil held it very much.
And also on the door, when we close the door.
Yeah.
When it's going to be windy.
Right,
well, that could have been so much worse.
Go and get me blowtorch and just set fire the whole thing. Warm name.
That's the idea. Well, it seems the storm hasn't quite left us yet. I've just checked the forecast because it started raining, as you can probably hear on the camera. The rain is due until 12. It's about 10 o'clock now. So we've got a couple of hours worth of this. Stephen's going to continue in here because obviously it's fine too. It's just not particularly nice. And then when he's done this, he's going to work in the house whilst it's still raining. I've got some batch cooking I wanted to get done. The point of today, or what we wanted to achieve today, was to do a home cooked Easter meal from things that we've got in the garden and in the freezer. So we've actually got some lamb and pork out, and we're going to grab some stuff from the garden once it's settled down a little bit later. But we'll come out after midday and get on in the house first. There's a few things that I want to get batch cooked to help us out when we go back to the paid job, but also just to have while we're off. So I'll get on with that and hopefully stay dry. First up in the house, Stephen is working on the library, a couple of little accessory bits that we've got. I'm going to show you that very soon. There's also another piece here that we're going to put up that got from Beamish when we went there, favourite place ever. But my job for now, whilst the weather is absolutely horrific, it's not showing up on camera there, but it's raining and windy again. I'm going to get on and make some soup to start off with. I need to keep some potatoes for later for the meal that we're having. Apart from that though, I've got any potatoes here on all of the leeks. I've got a spare sweet potato that Grace got that I just don't even think she'll notice because it's just been sat there looking at us forever. And I'm going to throw a couple of onions in as well, and then get a big vat of soup on, and then portion that out and keep that in the freezer for lunches when we're back to the paid job. So these are the potatoes that I've managed to find, every single one that we've got. You'll see some of them are starting to sprout. That's not an issue. Some people don't like using potatoes that have started to sprout. Really no concern or whatsoever. If there's any green on them, then that's just something that you might want to chop off. But, you know, I don't worry about that. So these are all the ones that we're going to use for the soup and for our meal today. So I'll probably take a few of them to take off for soup or for mash rather, or roasties. And then the rest will go into the soup. And this is the sweet potato. So that's what we're working with. As always, change of plan. We've had visitors this morning, so I haven't been able to get done the soup. And we've just come back down here. Stephen is around there somewhere. I'm helping him bring the other panels down. But Grace has just noticed this. So that tree is actually leaning. I'll go this way just in case. Leaning on that bit of fencing because it's snapped here. I'm not sure where that's come from. This is literally the junkyard area that we will get sorted at some point, but that's completely rotted. So I guess that needs taken down then, just to be safe. It's only a light one, thankfully. And because it's now after 12 and the weather has, well, it stopped raining, still really blustery, so it's probably not the best place to be stood actually. I've come outside to do a few outside things because when I make our meal later I can just get all of the foodie things done at once. So Stephen's just now roped for him to carry in these with him, and then I'm not sure which bit I'm going to do first. Right, everybody's out with a job to do. The wind's died down a touch and the sun's out, but it's not that cold when the wind blows, which it's coming in blustery gusts. So first of all, I've got a basket and I'm going to grab the food from the garden, the vegetables that we can make something from. Basically trying to make a meal with what we've got. So I've got 2 joints of meat, lovely meat, waiting in the house to get on for later. I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. But whilst the weather's okay, I thought let's get the veg, and at least we've got that. I don't want to be picking it in the rain and wind like we do later on. Hardly worth it, but everything will go in. Finally getting around to picking the red cabbage. I've been there waiting for ages. They are throwing off side shoots, which are also edible, so we're going to be having both. So really pleased with that. Only need a small one. I'm going to give that quite a long cook with some red currant, probably maybe a little bit of apple juice. Now this rosemary bush is starting to flower a little bit actually. We moved it here last year. It was in a different spot and it was thriving, and this side of it has died, but this side seems to have survived. So I'm going to grab some rosemary. I also think I might try and take a cut in as well. I think that's going to be a lovely little basket. I've got some carrots in the house, and I might even have a couple of parsnips. Actually, I think we've got one left in this bed here. Let's see if that works. Better than nothing. Right, now I'm going to take my seedlings, which have got super leggy, but it's okay because they are mostly tomatoes, and I'm going to plant them quite deep into these kind of trays. They're not my preferred trays of the container-wise ones, but the size that I've got available for the container-wise are going to be too big and use far too much compost at the moment. So I'm just going to start with this size. I have got, along this line in the middle, there were 6 what they're called, red pepper seeds planted, and only 1, 2, 3, 4 have come up and 1 without a head. These ones here are jalapenos. That's all we're growing this year, from seed at least, for peppers and chilies, but I have grabbed a couple from the garden centre as well, just the local one that we like to support, not from the big one. So anyway, let's get started with the Super Mama tomatoes. Not the best angle by any means, but I have got the Super Mamas because that's I normally do with the Super Mamas or Big Mamas. I've been doing both for the last couple of years, and I just picked the Super Mamas because that's what I had to hand, actually, what I had spare, or available, not spare, should I say. So that's why I'm just sticking with those. So I'm going to be using these mostly for canning and for using to make pasta type sauces. Say pasta, we don't often eat pasta. But if we do, then we're going to be making it ourselves. So hoping to get a little bit of that done over the Easter holidays. We shall see. There we go, there's 9 there, and there's what, 1, 2, 3, about 5 left. I'll probably do those in more individual pots, just to keep everything together. I'll see what I've got, but goodness me, this wind is still quite bad. Of course, it's died down as soon as I say that. Those are willow trees, and yeah, you can see it's coming across that way. So what's that? We're east. Oh, there we go, there's another one. It's not bothering the cows though, just behind in the field there. The hill field is, oh, gone out of shot, camera shy. They don't seem to be bothered. I'm going to get the rest of the Super Mama tomatoes done, and then the 4 peppers that we've got, and the jalapenos. Just noticed this bloomin' storm has snapped this completely. Well, completely snapped, but there's a tiny little bit attached still. So I guess we will be having greens with our meal after all. Give that bit to the pigs. Don't think that one's snapped. There's one over there that's starting to flower, so the pigs can have that one too. But yeah, everything's got a bit of a lean on. Right, I've got all of those tomatoes, jalapenos and red peppers potted up, so that's a really good job done. I'm going to add this to my basket. Where's my basket? Totally forgot I put it there, so I'm just glad I saw that actually. I'm going to add this to the basket. That is a beautiful basket. Absolutely fantastic. It's like something you'd paint. Is that just me? Anyway, a really beautiful basket of food. So I'm going to put this just in the barn so that it doesn't get blown away because it is still ridiculously blustery. I'm going to go and see how Stephen's getting on, and do what jobs I can do to get ahead. Sounds like a chicken's laid an egg. Should we gather those first? Aren't they adorable? Can you see the 4th one? 1, 2, 3, and an ear. Let me see if I can zoom in. Just gorgeous. I want to leave them so I don't disturb them. They've got all this straw around them and they've flattened it down and laid on that bit. Right, who is making the noise? You're still on the nest. They're all back. Oh look, Stephen's sleeping on the job. He's sleeping on the job?
Hey? Oh, all right. Right, well, it's mid-afternoon, still blowing a gale, so just a quick pig pen update. I've got all the panelling done I wanted to get done, and I've actually gone a bit further than I thought I was going to do, but I've had to double panel everything to keep everybody happy. I'll show you that in a second. We've just got the old oil tank over, which we've used for the past 2 or 3 years for the pig ark, and it fit 2 easily. There was loads of room left, so hopefully it'll fit 4, and it's just tucked nicely under these trees, so it'll keep it well shaded, nice and cool. I'll screw it all down, get that all secured, and then that'll be pretty much it. So then all I've got to do is decide where I want the stock fencing and put that in, but that'll probably be towards the end of the week. So we'll just run up there, show you what we've got done with the panelling. So we'll go along to the end, show you what we've got done. Right. So we were going to just come away, but I had a couple more panels, so I've just continued it on, going tucked in behind that tree. Like you can see, it's got this horrible blue on, but I'm going to go out and get some spray similar to this colour and just spray the tops. And then all we can do now is bring the stock fencing, decide where we're going to go, probably to about here, come down, and then probably end it at this tree. I don't know if we're putting a gate in yet, because I might get them in at the fence, so we'll decide that when we get on with it. But for today, that's finished. I think it looks pretty cool. Right, that is it for the day.
Finally got a vat of leek and potato soup on, but as you can see, I've also put in some frozen sweet potatoes. So we had a pack of those in the freezer, and I thought need to start getting them used up. And so as long with the fruit and all the other things that are in the freezer, no fruit in the soup, don't worry. Just put some stock in, and I'm just going to see how thick this goes. I've also used up some of my last of the tin of mustard, the last of the ground white pepper. There was hardly any in there, so I'm definitely going to need some more pepper. And I also threw in what I had remaining of the garlic and the onion powder and granules. So it should be quite flavourful, but I will add more pepper in at the end. If it goes too thick, I've got loads of milk in the fridge that needs using as well, rather randomly. We normally get through all of our milk, but it seems we've got some spare. Then I'll thin it down with the milk, but at the moment this has just got stock in that for the liquid.
Annie? That looks pathetic. 1 Yorkshire.
Right, it's Easter Monday, and we finally got a Monday off, meaning that we can head over to the livestock auction. We've been to this place before a few years ago. It was a fur and feathers one then, but we're just going to go and have a look around. At least that's what we've told Stephen. Yeah.
Where's the time?
At the top.
Like the Danish dessert pubs.
180, 182, 185, 188, 190. Chicken leg, perfect, chicken leg. Top of the giver again, say no again, look at there,
We didn't get our hands.
That's not what it looked like in the picture.
Yeah, there's the, it's separated. That's the small side.
Close all in. Starting to become very sceptical about this.
To be fair, I thought you would have started many, many weeks ago when we booked it. That's my bit done.
Now we're cooking. How firm do you like your mattress?
Now I'm starting to be sceptical. It's a lot smaller than the width of the bed. It's a lot narrower than the width of the bed.
You'll widen out. Come join me.
No shoes on the bed. Yeah, so
Right.
How is it?
Good.
how is it really?
Yeah, it's alright.
So we have to put the seats forward.
Well, we want these seats back really so we can have.
No, I'll put some pillows in.
Yeah, I know, but then your pillows are just going to fall off.
No, you want some stuff underneath it as well.
Oh, there's no... Right, okay. Yeah, good idea, Jack. We'll take some beer chests, wine coolers.
You just push the seats back.
Yeah, but then you won't fit in, will you?
Yeah, I should do. This is sort of like this. Right.
You definitely won't fit in.
Oh.
Hey. No bite.
Like, don't bust the bed.
Feels like it's going down already.
Don't like sit up and bounce up and smack my head.
You need a hand out there, Stephen. Do you need to go hand out to go to the toilet in the middle of the night? Well, no guesses for what we're going to be doing. Who wants to stay in a hotel when you can stay in the back of the Land Rover with an airbed purchased off eBay? It is brand new though, so that's all right at least. So we're taking Rodney because he's the best behaved out of the bunch, and we're going to go away for a night to Pooley Bridge in the Lake District. Absolutely beautiful place. So we're hoping for some nice weather. It's about an hour and a half away from us. So a nice drive, hopefully nice weather, and a not too cold evening, all being well. We've just got the airbed set up. It fits perfectly. We've got some bedding on top of it. We'll put a load more in before we go, and then we'll just see how it goes. We've got a grass pitch, no electricity, nothing like that. So we're literally going to rock up in the Land Rover and see what happens. Hopefully we won't get turned away. But then take Rodney with us and hopefully have a lovely time. We'll take you along and show you how we get on. Well, it's Tuesday morning and we look like it's going to be another beautiful day. So we're taking them while we can get them. Train. And today we have no plans on going anywhere or people visiting or anything like that. So we're hoping to get a full day of productive things doing. So I'm going to get started with the animals. First of all, it's really cool in the shade still, but it is due to be quite the high temperatures later. I think it said 19 or 18 degrees Celsius centigrade. So looking forward to that. Let's get all the animals opened up first, make sure everything is fitting well, and get on with the day. That's sun. You feeling the joys of spring, miss? Quick update on the larger goat, even though she's still a pygmy. She is doing much better. Her eye has recovered. I don't know if that's obvious on the camera. There she goes. She's showing you all. So she's doing much better. She had something in it and it just basically created an unhappy eye. So thankfully, nothing serious. And this one's just loving life at the minute. Being very silly every morning.
Right, well, Tracy's getting on with what she's doing. I'm going to try and get this second project finished. The mesh for the fence should be here on Thursday. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm just trimming the edges of this. I'm going to make a step coming out here for the front, and then we've decided we're going to dig the garden around into a flower bed. We're not going to have it raised, we're just going to have the backfill it with soil. So coming up to this paving slab there and just coming down to the garden width, so I can easily get round with the lawnmower and get it round and keep it looking tidy. Plus it keeps costs down. So I think we're going to come from the step, dig it round in a nice arch, come up straight level with what pretty much where this is, and then just kick it in there. And we've got loads of bushes growing already in the planters from last year. We're going to fill it with them, and then Grace is going to do the rest.
Well, now I've been released from my help by holding this theme. I'm in the kitchen to get on with making the next round of batch cooked food. So what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of packs of pork mince. I've actually got another one outside, I think, but I'm just going to do 2, cook them off and use them for a variety of things. One will go into our soup at lunchtime. I'm going to just do a pork mince. I've got a couple of these tiny potatoes left. I've got a bit of cabbage there, and I'm just going to make sort of a brothy soup from that. And the other thing is that I'll use the pork mince for is doing quite a few quiches, because we've got tons of eggs, and I've also got some cream and some milk in the fridge that needs using up. Just hasn't got used, so I'm going to get to that, make the quiches, and then they can go in the fridge. They can go in the freezer, and we'll have those alongside the soup. So if it needs to be a bit more of a substantial meal for the lunches for when we go back to the paid job, then we'll just pull some of those out and have those as well. So basically trying to get ahead and help ourselves for the future, so that if everything is kind of prepped and planned as best it can, it gives us more time here and just less stress, basically. More time here to be able to get things done. Sorry, that's where I'm coming out with that. My mind's already cooking them in, so I'm going to get on it and get that started. Right, I've got the oven heating up, cup of tea made. The sausage meat is almost done, the first batch anyway. I'm doing it in 500 grams of about £1 batches. And I've decided that I'm going to use, instead of doing mini ones, which is going to be more fuss, I'm going to use an enamel tin. I've got a couple, and I'm essentially just going to bake the pastry blind. Normally when I use the agar, I don't need to, because the bottom of the agar is like cast iron heat, and it comes up through the bottom like that, and you just never need to blind bake the pastry. But because I'm doing it in the electric oven, I'm going to, so I'm just going to put it in for about 10 minutes or so on 180 with the bacon beans on top. And then for the sausage meat, what I've done is added in some garlic granules, some mustard, basically trying to use what I've got on hand. Now, I also have some bought chutney and some made chutney, so of course I'm going to be using the made chutney, but I am going to throw in some of the bought chutney as well, because one of them is a caramelized onion and the other one is an apple chutney. I think that'll go really well with the pork. And also, a bit of a mishmash, I have got some leeks and cheese left over from a Sunday roast that I did, or the Easter roast that I did, so I'm going to throw them in too. I'm sure it'll be lovely. Right, that's 2 lots of the pork mince / sausage meat, as I'm calling it, cooked off. The quiche pastry is just about finished blind baking, so pricked it with a fork, parchment paper, bacon beans or peas, whatever you want to call them, and they're just been in there for 10 to 15 minutes. And I will now wait for that to cool off just a touch. I've got the custard, I've got that made, which has got a combination of duck eggs and chicken eggs in it that I wanted using up, milk and cream that I had left in the fridge. There's even more, so I think we might be doing this again over the next couple of days. We've got a few more days off, so that should fit in, although we are away for that night out, which will kind of take from lunchtime one day until lunchtime the next day basically. However, point of all of this, what I was going to say is I've changed my mind about the soup for lunch. I'm going to do a carrot and parsnip because the carrots and parsnip won't get used up in the quantity that there are, that we've got some leftovers from Easter. The potatoes will be absolutely fine, and we can use the cabbage raw and shredded as well. Anyway, you don't need to know all of that. Basically, I'm going to put the soup maker on for an easy answer to carrot parsnip, and I'll probably put some lentils in there as well. Stephen can throw some sausage meat in if he wants, and just a nice light lunch to be able to continue on with the rest of the day. And any leftovers from that, I'll also portion up and put them in the freezer too. Right, we're going with probably about a cup of red lentils, and I've got 1 carrot and 1 onion out of the storeroom. And if you've never used a soup maker before, don't be too quick to judge. I know people think, oh well, you need to soften the onions and you need to brown them for the best taste. Absolutely, totally agree with you. However, the taste of soup maker soup is absolutely delicious, to be quite honest with you. You actually just taste the vegetables, opposed to any heavy seasonings or anything like that. Yes, it can't cook sort of meat from raw, things like you know, a Scotch broth, that kind of thing. But for vegetable based soups, or something that you just want to add some cooked meat to that you might have left over after Sunday dinner or whatever it might be, they're absolutely fantastic. And given how much we have a soup for, you know, for our lunches and to take to, very portable to take to work, they're fantastic, real lifesaver. So all I'm going to do is throw in literally chopped up raw carrot, chopped up onion, not a tinful, cupful of red lentils, some stock, and I might just throw a parsnip in just because I've got it. And then I'm just going to put it on the setting to cook away whilst I get everything else done. And that's just another thing as well, you don't have to stand and babysit it. It does get extremely violent when if you put the smooth cycle on, and it really needs attention at the end because it just beeps continuously, at least mine does, until you switch it off after it's done. So apart from that, it really is wonderful. The only thing I would say is, you see these 2 lines here, they are the minimum and maximum line, and basically don't try and do what I've done and put too much in to try and get, you know, a little extra portion. It's not worth it because it will just have a fit, and then, you know, you'll end up standing there for the whole 21 minutes or whatever cycle it is that you've chosen. So really, you know, acknowledge that. I'm now going to add stock up to the minimum line, and then if I need to, I can add more at the end. Sometimes I will put veggies literally to the maximum line and then try and get away with adding stock up to the maximum line as well, making quite a thick, super quick broth. But yeah, sometimes that doesn't work. So if you do have problems with your soup maker, that might be why. That's the only time I've ever had a problem with the soup maker. I know some people say about burning on the bottom. I've not had that. This is a what is this? Oh, it's a daewoo? How do you say that? Anyway, you get the idea. You know, treat it well and it will look after you. That apple chutney is the one that I did in the slow cooker. Let's see what it looks like. Right, I've loosened the lid, but I haven't taken the top off, so I thought I'd do that with you. Very full, very perfect looking. Pleased with that. So I did this, I'll try and tag the video, I can't remember which one I did it in, October 2025, with apples from our land here, and did it in the slow cooker. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I'm rubbing it off by accident. It's on with chalk pen. That's really, really nice. It looks lovely. These are little raisins, so I'm going to definitely be doing that moving forward. The other chutney that we really like is shop bought, and it is this red onion chutney. So I am going to add a bit of this in because we've got it in the pantry. I'm trying to wean myself off using it because we've obviously got our own. So that's another thing. Try and only use what we have. Haven't ever made red onion chutney myself, but if you have, please let me know because it's something that we really, really like. Right, we've now got the chutney, which you can maybe see just at the side there, then a layer of the pork mince, and this on top is the leeks and cheese that I mentioned. Some people might think that sounds and looks disgusting. I'm not going to say it looks amazing, but I think it'll really go well. I mean, it's literally leeks and cheese, so, you know, what could go wrong? I've also got another pork mince there. Sorry, trying not to tread on the dog. I've also got another pork mince there, which I've drained both of them off. I've drained both of them off on kitchen roll. It's amazing how much fat comes off them. Fat's not necessarily bad for you, but not something that I'm looking for right at the moment. So pork mince is seasoned well. That can be used for anything moving forward, whether it's in the soups or something else, or just another quiche that I'll then get to. I'm going to add the custard on top of this, some cheddar on the top, and that'll be absolutely perfect. Get that in the oven so that I can get that switched off. Finally getting tidied up. That's the soup. So literally a little bit of sausage mince in, soup, and probably a sprinkle of cheddar. Well, we're all loaded up and ready to go. We've got about, I think it's about an hour and a half. I haven't actually double checked this morning, but I think that it was that last time we checked. Rodney's ready to go. He's about to get settled for his journey. We'll get him sorted in just a moment. Fingers crossed it's not going to be too cold tonight, but we will see you in the lakes and keep you updated. Rodney knows. Hey, this is out as easy, this blade of grass.
Yeah, that'll do. Let's set up. Oh, we are set up.
We have to go and check in.
We're up there behind there.
Oh god, that was him.
Alright, Rodney, you're getting out in a sec.
He's been such a good boy.
Pulling over here, we'll go to the loo and we'll go and get sorted.
Well, we made it. I'll give you a view of what we're looking at in just a moment. It's absolutely spectacular, and Stephen's even said maybe we should just sit on the back of the car and just stay here with a few beers. Only one problem with that.
Don't like beers.
So the plan is, well, Stephen's plan is,
Yeah, we're going to load it up. The bag's already loaded. Going to first head down to Pooley Bridge, and I think we've got a 3 or 4 hour walk around the lake planned out, and then we'll head back and come for something to eat and a few drinks.
it's 1:30. So 3 or 4 hour walk, or whatever it ends up being. Ambulance ride back. I'm joking, I shouldn't say that actually. 3 or 4 hour walk. Don't know if we're going to eat in Pooley Bridge or back here at the restaurant. They did say that the clubhouse is open here, so that's an option, but it gets dark. What, about 7:30 is it now?
Something like that, 7, half 7. So
I've totally forgot now off the top
I'll
of my
make sure
head.
we're back by then.
But we have brought head torches just in case.
But we couldn't have picked a better spot, really.
Absolutely love it. It's we've managed to find a flat bit. We had we checked in at reception and she told us where to go, and so we've pulled into the field. She said, "Oh, don't worry, it is quiet." It really is. There's what?
There's 5 other tents on this field, and we still couldn't decide a place
We
to
still
start.
drove around trying to figure out where to park, but we've got the flattest place we could, because obviously the bed is our heads as it's laid at the moment, right behind the chairs.
So we're going to wake up tomorrow, our feet are going to be this big.
Yeah, so that's the only worry, is obviously we don't want to be laid where all of the blood's going to our head, so fingers crossed. And we've been walking for 3 hours now.
3 minutes.
Down to Pooley Bridge from the campsite. So we had 2 options. We found a walk that we were going to do. We had 2 options, basically left to right, and we chose the wrong way. Too far into it now. So we're just going to look for another one. And at least I think what we're looking to do, Steve, is do the walk around the lake. Bless you. Bless you. Change of plan again. You seen all the wild garlic, by the way? This is Dunmallard Wood. So we're pretty much walking along the woods, along the path that we started on, but we got to the end of the path and there was like a gift shop, a surf shop, and just for the pool, not the pool, what's it called? Just so I saw the roll of the eyes there, Steve. No, you weren't looking. And that was the end of it. So we said, oh, can you get, is there a path past here? And he said, not a safe one. So you're better off going back and going up through the woods. So that's what we're doing. Can I just say, Stephen said, let's go this way. It'll be quicker to go down. Would you like to see why? It would be quicker. In case that's not obvious, that's pretty much vertical.
That's over there.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Guys, isn't it hurting your toes? What is it? Really? So on this route we found an empty bottle of Corona, an ice cream that Rodney found, that's half of what it was when we found it because he found it first, and a pound.
It's alright.
Stephen's referring to my glamorous quick descent of about 6 foot. Unintentional. Oh, civilization. I don't normally like people, but I thought we might be out there for years at that rate. We made it back safely, Stephen.
Of course.
Rodney's just chilling. Sat in the shade for him, just watching everyone by the lakeside. Apparently we've come the more difficult way for absolutely no reason. There's a pathway literally just there. So we're gonna...
wish I'd have brought my trunks. Well, back in our natural habitat. Cheers.
What you saying, Stephen?
Nothing.
Oh, car, Rodney. Can't account for the neighbours' taste in music.
No. Well, we've just got back. It's about 7 o'clock at night. The sun's just about to go down over the lake, over the mountains over there. So, just got back to the hotel. We're gonna have another couple of drinks while Rodney has a rest, gets his tea, before we head off down to the clubhouse. They've got some live music on down there apparently, so we'll head down there, see what's going on. But it's been a good day. We've done about 5.5 mile walk, and we're pretty goosed, aren't we? We're not used to it.
Very. Oh,
Where
what
are
you
you
doing? There's no flash on the front camera, so Stephen's trying to help out a bit with the torch of his phone light. We are back into our hotel room for the night. It is, what time is it? 20 past 10, so not very late at all. This campsite has got an 11 o'clock, everybody hush and respect everybody else. And we've just asked, and apparently the clubhouse restaurant is open from 8:30 for breakfast. So I don't know what we're going to do for the 4.5 hours after we wake up. Anyway, we're going to try and get some sleep and see what happens. We will see you in the morning. Well, Rodney slept in his bed all night, but he's just come to lay with us for a little cuddle and probably to warm up, although to be fair, it was really, really warm in here last night, but we did have the windows cracked open, so there was a definite breeze. there's the view this morning. No, they're dehydrated. Totally different weather coming back. Can't even see the top of those hills on the left. A bit brighter over where Stephen is though.
2 foot apart.
So we've had an absolutely lovely breakfast at, what was it called? The Crown Inn in Pooley Bridge, and now we're heading back. It started to rain, so we had a little wander around, and now we're heading back to get some jobs done. So we thought we would take the drone along to give you some footage from the air and show what exactly it was that we were looking at and what it was that was around us for those people that have not been. And maybe you don't know or you've not heard of the Lake District, but in the northern part of England, it's a national park that's known for its lakes. There's more than one. It's known for its mountains and long winding valleys that have been shaped by ice over thousands of years. It's a place where people come for their holidays. It gets super, super busy for people on the day trips or staying over for literally 2 weeks at a time and more. Just to say, excuse the wobbly camera, we don't know what's happening there, but the drone was just putting a ripple effect on or literally shaking. We're not too sure. So this stretch of water that you're looking at is Ullswater, one of the largest lakes in the Lake District, often considered the most beautiful. It runs for nearly 8 miles long, carving through the landscape with a gentle farmland at either side of it that you can see as we're moving around this shot. Where we're staying is Parkfoot, so it sits all along the shoreline of Ullswater, and from above you can see just quite how open and countryside it feels. The land giving space to the water and the water giving space to the land. At the northern tip of the lake, it's a small village called Pooley Bridge, which is where we've taken you to. That gets its name from the river that flows out of Ullswater, the River Eamont, and that begins its journey here before heading north. The bridge itself, Pooley Bridge, was rebuilt after severe flooding in 2015, and that swept the original bridge away. And what stands now, which is what we've got footage of, is the newer bridge that was built, but the village around it still holds all of the traditional Cumbrian character, with the stone buildings, the narrow roads, and a steady, unhurried pace. So this is where we stopped. This is where our campsite for the night. A simple meal, nothing fancy, and then a walk from the village, following the water and a quiet path that leads you gently out onto all of this wonderful, if not slightly wobbly landscape. Something about this place that doesn't need to try to impress you, it just does by looking at it. But yet again, apologies for the camera footage there, guys. We will take a look at that. So I'll leave you with the next minute or so and talk to you again in a moment when we get home.
Well, we've just got back and the dogs we left behind are happy to see us back anyway, but we're straight back into it, no rest now. So we literally got back and there was a hay and straw delivery at the gate when we got home, so we had all that to take off and redistribute around the barn. So my first job, because the weather's a bit pits outside, is we're going to change this fire over. So we're in this room, this is our living room on a night now. permanently. We used to have the other room next door, but we've got plans for that in the future. So this fire, we're just going to swap it out with the one in there, because that one in there is bigger and takes loads more decent sized logs. Well, this one's only a tiny little one. It only takes little logs and it doesn't really burn for that long. So hopefully I've done some measurements and hopefully it'll be a straight swap. If not, we'll have no fire tonight. Right, so I'm now in the room that I referred to, and I've got both fires next to each other. So this is the one I've just took out, and this is the one that we currently had in here. And as you can see, just by side, there's a substantial difference in the sizes. And when you open them up, it just becomes even more clear. So I'm going to give them a good clean out, swap them over, and by having this one in there, it'll give a lot more heat output, and we'll be able to stack more logs in it so it burns longer overnight, and it'll keep the heat in there a lot longer with a bit of luck. Right, we've got it all in, all sealed, so now I'm just going to give it a smoke test to make sure we're not going to get gassed out, and then we should be away to go in 24 to 48 hours when it cures.
We do have a carbon monoxide tester as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, it's smoky. Is it supposed to be smoky?
Yeah, it's supposed to be sealed.
No,
as long as it's not coming out into the room, we're all right.
Oh, okay. But I thought it would all just get sucked up the flue.
Well, no, not instantly, but it will.
Oh, okay.
There, look, it's all disappearing now.
See, every day's a school day for Tracy.
There you go, that's it. If you shine a light in the fire, it's perfectly clear. So as soon as that silicon cures and everything, we might have a warm night.
It was warmer in the Land Rover last night than it is in the house.
Get away with yourself.
It is. It's freezing.
Right.
Well, it feels like there's another storm rolling in. The wind's picked up. It's gone really dark outside. I've got the pony out for now. He'll be fine. I'll get him in once I've got the jobs done. But yeah, it is time to get back on with the jobs here. Stephen's got the fires done. Need to leave them, like he said. Bless you. Bless you. So they will be in the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll be able to get to use those again. For some reason in the house it's actually colder now than it was in winter, and when we didn't even have the heating on then. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to get on, clean these pigs out, give them the fresh water. They're eating the food, which is why it's nice and quiet at the moment. The pony's on, all the usual bits and pieces, and then I think we're going to start again tomorrow. So we will end this video now. I think there's quite a lot on it. We need to catch up because having a day off has caught up with us, believe it or not. More tired having a day off than not having a day off, so to speak. And then we're going to start a new video. And then we're going to start the next video tomorrow. Stephen's got a lot to get on with outside. I've got a lot to get on with outside, but in the garden. So we're going to try and get as much done tomorrow as we can. I just can't believe how quickly this week's gone, or going, because it's only Thursday evening after all. So thank you very much for watching from both of us. Even though he's not here, we'll talk to you very soon.